Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry I didn't get this video up yesterday, but here it is. It's in the works right now. What I want to talk about today is the September 11, 2012 attacks on our embassy and the consulate in Benghazi. Well, the embassy was in Tripoli, but the consulate in Benghazi. I want to talk about the current administration and how it's tried to weasel its way out of trouble for their responsibility in said attacks. I want to talk about honesty or lack thereof in our government. And it's not just on one side of the aisle, it's on both sides of the aisle. So before I get that label branded that I'm just a, hardcore, GOP, brown-nosing guy, sorry, that ain't me. Also, I want to put out a little disclaimer that I neglected to put out on the last video. On occasion, there might be some not safe for work language. I get a little involved in these things, so if I say something that might offend you, I want to turn the volume down so others don't hear. I'm only human. Okay, that being said, once again, September 11, 2012 at about 5 p.m. Eastern Time, our diplomatic compound was attacked. This compound had been attacked previously. There'd been a hole blown in the wall. Somehow I doubt that was for any kind of landscaping purposes or any area beautification, because the blast came from the outside. Nobody hired any contractors to blow up any walls. There was a British envoy that was attacked. The Brits decided, well, that's it, we're out of here. Yet, for some reason, we decided to keep our people in place. Anyway, so this attack kicks off, and it goes on for about 13 hours. At least 8 hours of sustained fighting. Started out... well, I can't give you the exact numbers of how many men were involved, but they had to call for help, and they got the help from Tripoli. These men had to come and provide support. Those are the men that were told to stand down. Those men were given a stand down order, and the administration likes to fight that off by saying, well, you have no evidence of any stand down order. Since there's no evidence, it didn't happen. Okay, well, to quote the Boondocks, absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Okay. I forget exactly which gentleman it was that was on the ground fighting at the time, said that the reason there is no evidence is because drones don't read lips. The only support that those men had the entire time was a drone that was not weaponized. An AC-130 gunship was called off. There was support from both the Navy and from special forces in Sinaloa, Italy, that wanted to join the fight, and they were told that they were not allowed to go and join the fight. Strangely enough, in our current administration's vast knowledge of military tactics, their response was that there was not enough time to get boots on the ground to help them out. Well, from Sinaloa, Italy, the flight time on a commercial flight is about an hour and 50 minutes. Given the time to spin up fighting men and get boots on ground, let's go ahead and just add an extra hour, okay? Let's say it would take 3 hours to get boots on ground to help these folks out, right? So 13 hours from start of attack to finish, 8 hours of sustained fighting without lulls and breaks in contact and things like that. And somehow the current administration thinks that they can just pass off this whole, sorry, we didn't have time to get anybody there, narrative. Well, it's just not true. Number one, they know absolutely nothing about combat. Number two, unless these people are Kreskin, they can't determine how long the fight is going to last. Unless they had some kind of crystal ball, and if they did have a crystal ball, obviously the damn thing didn't work very well, because they had plenty of time to get people in a fight to help these folks out. So, there's that. All right. General Carter Ham, he was the commander of AFRICOM. He wanted to get boots on ground. He was told, no, I want to get boots on ground. No, I want to get boots on ground. No. So they fired him. Okay. Same thing for Rear Admiral Charles Gouet. I'm probably mispronouncing the gentleman's last name, and sir, I apologize for that. These are the kinds of things that happen when this administration gets things wrong, okay? First of all, they fire the people that wanted to do something, the people that wanted to get in the fight and help these people out, the responsible people, okay? And then on top of that, when the family members of those who lost their lives in Benghazi are there to meet the bodies of their loved ones, they are fed this narrative that the guy that made the video that's responsible for the death of your son will be prosecuted. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. What they're talking about is prosecuting a man for his First Amendment right to free speech. Okay, now, I don't want to say that there aren't any kind of gray areas that could implicate someone in a crime when doing something like that, but I mean, let's face the facts. Like 6.5 people watched this video, okay? And I don't think any of them were in the Middle East. So that narrative is out the window, okay? What difference does it make? The difference is that your video didn't have a damn thing to do with what happened. You liar. Hillary Clinton, number one, okay? The family members are disgusted with the fact that that is their answer. Their answer is that we will put this man in jail. And Barack Obama, during his State of the Union, thank God it was the last State of the Union address, likes to talk about, well, if you don't think that I'm committed to the war on terror, well, then ask Osama bin Laden, who had some mysterious burial at sea, no evidence of the body, no evidence that Osama bin Laden was killed. And number one, and in addition to that, hey, way to spike the football, guy. It's not like SEAL Team 6 provided outer cordon security for you as you haloed in with a 38 Saturday Night Special you picked up from one of your buddies in Chicago to go ace this guy in the face. So let's go ahead and charge you a penalty for that, because whether or not the man is dead, you didn't have a damn thing to do with it. Okay, so moving on. These people, okay, they think that they have the right to have any kind of opinion about what goes on in our military today, and it's disgusting. These 4 people are dead, and the administration and Hillary Clinton, once again, State of the Union, the man that's responsible for these 4 people's death is being punished. No, that is not true. A man that made some stupid bullshit video is in jail, okay? Hell, the guy that helped us get OBL, that guy's in jail, and our government isn't doing a damn thing to help get that guy out, okay? All right, add to this. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. Add to this the fact that the men responsible for their deaths, they are not in jail. Those men that were dropping the mortars that killed, Ty Woods and Mr. Doherty and these other folks, they're still at large in Libya or wherever they happen to be. So that's also untrue. Those were directly responsible, the men that killed these men, okay? Now, the people that are responsible for aiding and abetting, well, one is still in the White House, and the other one is now running for the White House as a Democrat, obviously. So no one has been punished. No one has been punished properly for this, okay? So that's going to lead me into, our politics, our political system, okay? Our political system in its design, it's the best political system that has ever graced the face of the earth, okay? But of course it's not perfect. And obviously it's not perfect because it's been allowed to be perverted. Now, our politicians, when they got their start, when this country was founded, they all had jobs, printers, they were carpenters, they had farms, they all had jobs, and they would, out of pocket, they would go to represent their neighbors, okay? It wasn't until politics became a career, okay, until these people started making $400,000 for the rest of their lives, mind you. Never mind the fact that some of them are 75 years old and have been there for 30, 40 years, okay? The system's corrupt, okay? They have their seat at the table. They have their place in power, and that's what they care about. That's why there's so much gridlock in our government, because it's not about doing a damn thing for you and me. It's about doing for themselves. That's what matters. That's why nothing ever gets done. That's why the voting booth, I liken the voting booth to the booth that a sheep goes in before it gets sheared. The sheep goes into this booth, goes into this cage, he pushes a little button and gets a little pellet back because it pacifies the sheep, because it's easier for them to shear this pacified sheep. If he's munching on a pellet, they can take the shears to him, take everything they want from him, just like our government does from the American people, okay? It's fake. It's not even real anymore, okay? It's there to pacify the masses. We think that we have some kind of input when obviously we don't, because we elected a conservative Congress and Senate during the last midterm elections, yet we still can't balance out the power of this tyrant who uses executive order for everything. Give me a break. How can we not win out one side over the other when there is such an overwhelming majority? Because it's fake, because it's not real anymore. Okay? And before anyone else decides they want to call me out for being complete GOP, I will call out people like John McCain all day long. Okay? And the only members of our government, I can't say that that's not entirely true. The people in our government that have the most power, the most senior congressmen, senators, and people at the ivory table are people like John McCain and John Kerry. John Kerry, who at one point said, well, you can either go to college or go to Iraq. Well, hey, way to go, buddy. Way to just go out and call, without saying the words, anyone that wears the uniform a complete dumbass. Okay, you're obviously not smart enough for college, so you go off to fight for your country. Well, kiss my ass, guy. You're a turd. Okay, John McCain. This guy, he got made fun of because he can't raise his arms above here because, he got shot down, his plane crashed in a rice paddy and all this stuff. And, it's not nice to make fun of people who can't raise their arms above here, and all that. But you take this guy and you ask anybody that served around him, you ask anybody that had anything to do with the Hanoi Hilton back in those days, and they will tell you that this guy came in here singing songs all day long to the NVA, telling these guys troop movements, telling these guys, where troops were stationed and all this. This guy is he's a failure as a human being, in my opinion, and he's a traitor. Okay, and he's a traitor, and he is a sitting senator. And the people of Nevada finally are able to look past him climbing down off this plane because his daddy was an admiral. And, say what you want about the 5 years he spent in Hanoi. Somehow I doubt this guy was in a wooden cage that's about, say, knee high. I imagine that this guy probably had either dirt floors or stone floors and was getting fish heads and rice every day, while his cohorts were probably having to eat their own feces to survive. So John McCain is not a patriot. John McCain is a piece of shit. That's what John McCain is, okay? And once again, any of these people, any of these senior senators and senior congressmen, you take a new congressman or a new senator who comes in and tries to shake things up, they get you need to learn your place. No, you need to learn yours, okay? And it's not leading the American people, that's for sure. Okay, so this is just another group of people who doesn't know a damn thing or doesn't deserve to have any kind of input as far as the American people goes. And another shining example of that is the Bo Bergdahl trade. Okay, so this Blue Falcon, walks off his fob, okay? He leaves his little manifesto for the guys in his platoon, who will tell you that he hated being there, he hated being with his people, and he wanted to run off and live with these people in the hills. What does this tell you? I mean, someone that's rational, someone who wants to continue the fight for his side is not going to run off to the other side. It just doesn't happen, for crying out loud. I mean, if this guy really is a patriot, like Barack Obama seems to think he is, this guy would be afraid for his life, okay? He wouldn't be riding on the backs of motorcycles, ducking his heads in to, Haji's back, trying to hide from the American service members that were trying to find him, 6 of which good service members died, okay? But once again, the current administration wants to talk about how great he was. He wasn't great. He's a piece of shit, okay? The integration of our military, okay? I'm not a misogynist, okay? But women don't have any place in the infantry. They don't have any place in combat arms, okay? I have seen firsthand women that could probably do the job, all right? But you're introducing sexual harassment and sexual assault, both legitimate cases of it and cases of it where a woman is going to tell you, hey, this guy touched my ass because she doesn't want duty on a certain day. These things are going to happen, and it's going to tear our military apart. Just like Ash Carter and his new push to put transsexuals in uniform, okay? When it becomes more important to put transsexuals in uniform, to put women in the infantry, to get back a piece of shit that left his fob and call him a good soldier, when those things are more important than good soldiers that were on the ground asking for support, then you know that there is something wrong. Okay, and that's how I'm going to tie all this in together, okay? I'm sorry, I know this video is a lot longer than I intended it to be, but things are sideways in our government. They are absolutely sideways, and they are definitely anti-American service member. They are definitely anti everything this nation was brought up to be. And it is all about division, folks. It's plain and simple. It's all about division. Dividing the people. That's all they want. Because eventually, they're going to run out of food for everybody, okay? All these people that want to get everything from the government, well, they're not going to be able to supply everything. So the herd's got to get thinned out, okay? So the pacified sheep are going to have to fight the lions, okay? And what they want is they want one side to destroy the other, okay? And then they can, sweep up the pieces. The friendlies, well, they'll get to go and suck on the teat. And those that weren't friendly, well, they'll end up getting round up and re-educated or, shot in the head. So, think what you want. If you come to me to get your news, man, you are in a rough spot. Watch a little bit of Fox News for certain things. Okay, I'm not a fan of Megyn Kelly personally, but once in a while, a broken clock's right twice a day, and they will get these gentlemen on that people have been asking for. Why are we not hearing from the people that were on the ground? Well, Fox News gave us the people who were on the ground. And if you want to believe an administration that buys into shit like transsexuals in uniform, ripping the threads apart of our military, saying that Bo Bergdahl is a good soldier and all that, I mean, come on, man, give me a break. You need to believe the people that were there, like the people that served with Bo Bergdahl. If the people that lived next to Bo Bergdahl every day, that had to go on patrol with Bo Bergdahl, say he was a piece of shit, the guy's a piece of shit, okay? If the guys that were on the ground in Benghazi said they got a stand-down order, they got a stand-down order, okay? They don't have any reason to lie, all right? They have every reason to tell the truth. It's our government that has every reason to lie. Thank you very much. God bless America. God bless you.